Hi guys, welcome back. I got a great lag video for you, and you may be wondering why we're shooting from the down the line view. If we're shooting from this angle, we really can't see lag, so why would we be looking at it from this way? And I got two really crucial moves that are happening to get lag when we're looking from that angle. I'm gonna go over those in just 1 second. And it's not all about just creating an angle that we can see from face on. So first, I got a good little drill I want you to do. If you're in your living room right now, if you're at your office, I won't tell your boss, pick up a club right now or a pencil or whatever you got handy and try to create the biggest angle you can in your left wrist while keeping this nice and flat. So if we're looking from this angle, that would be about like that. If we're seeing from this angle, that would be nice and flat there. So that would be what's called radial deviation. That would be part of what's creating lag. So you'll see there, even if I'm pretty flexible, I can't get much past 90 when I'm doing that. If you're super flexible, you may be able to get a little bit more. If you're not very flexible, you may be able to get right at 90. That's about all you can get. That's part of lag. The second part of lag is what's called, your right wrist would be in what's called extension, so the wrist being out. That would be this motion there. It looks something like that. So still, that's not a very sharp angle. Why do you see these tour pros that look like they have an angle like this, like a Sergio Garcia? And the reason for that, and when I see people trying to create that a lot of times, is they'll be trying to create that angle this way, and the club is almost slipping down between the thumb and the forefinger. So if you ever try to create lag, if we're looking at it from this direction, your club almost slips down like in between the hands like that, and it almost rolls down instead of your thumb being on top this way. You're struggling with that. I'm gonna explain why that is. So if we're looking from face on again, let's do the same thing. I'm gonna turn here sideways. I'm gonna get as much radial deviation as I can, thumb moving upward. I'm gonna get my right wrist on there really nice, angled back slightly. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flatten that out. And look how that changes the appearance of what that looks like on the camera. That looks like a very sharp angle. This doesn't look like a very sharp angle. So when I'm creating lag in the golf swing, that's what you're going to see. As I start my downswing, you're going to see something like this. But if I straighten that up, that's almost 90 degrees. I'm probably 80 degrees, somewhere around in that ballpark. So that's the big key, the big piece of it, the first big piece of it. When I'm creating lag in the downswing, I have to shallow out this club. That's what we go over in the move section in the Top Speed Golf system. We talk about how almost pretty much you can take every single major winner from 2000. We took all 39, 40 of them. We researched their swings. You can take every one of those guys and they're all shallowing out this club as they're starting in the transition and then releasing as their hands turn back into the left. That's going to accelerate this club squarely into the ball with a lot of speed. So that's the first piece. What I want you to try is as you're coming down with some lag, get this club to flatten out a little bit and get your wrist, your right wrist, to turn back what would be an extension as much as you can. So to do that in your living room, right there, you're going to see how that's the appearance of a very sharp angle when you're filming from face on. So that's the first piece. That's the first secret that I see people struggle with in lag. The second one is a scientific thing. It's called conservation of angular momentum. Sounds really fancy. Excuse me. It's a really simple idea. We don't have to memorize all these fancy formulas and that kind of stuff. If my body, my arms and hands are rotating around in a circle, I'm going to tend to keep this same angle. So if you took a fan, a ceiling fan, tie a string to your ceiling fan if you want to try this out, turn that ceiling fan on, the ceiling fan blade is going to be turning around at a constant speed around a circle, and then that string is going to come at a constant angle as it whips around there. So it's going to be at an angle like this, somewhere in this kind of range, and it's going to keep on going, and that angle is going to stay pretty constant the entire way around. Doesn't change very much. But when you turn that ceiling fan off, or if you were to go up there and grab that ceiling fan with your hand and stop that main blade in its tracks, you would see that string whip on past it. So the reason that has it, if you have momentum as you're swinging this club down, there's tons of momentum built up in this club head in your downswing. As we decelerate our hands or slow down our body, that's going to want that club to whip on past. It wants to keep that momentum and it wants to keep on accelerating. There's enough force there that there's nothing you could do in your hands and arms to be able to stop that force. So when we're doing this, when you come down to impact, when we talk about the straight line release at that point that's 45 degrees out in front, my hips and shoulders have to be going to that point out in front as I release this club. If my hips stall out and they stay back here and I try to hit the ball, all that momentum's built up and I'm gonna flip. I have to get my hips and shoulders to keep on rotating through so that when they do decelerate up here, that's in time for this momentum to be released on out in front. And that's what all the pros are doing. The pros club does flip. It just happens out in front of the golf ball. If this was impact, their club would be releasing out there. If we take that same angle and we take it down to a golf ball, now we're doing the same thing. That angle is releasing on out in front of the golf ball. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple slow motion swings, and I want you to notice those two things. Number one, in the transition, my club is going to be shallowing out. Number two, when you're looking from face on video, my hips are going to continue rotating until you see those about 45 degrees in front, then my hips slow down. So do a little drill here, where as you're at impact, I want you to pause and I want your hips to be open about 45 degrees toward our straight line release system, straight line release in the topspeed golf system. Then let that club come on through. So you're going to pause, you're going to come down again, pause again, and then we're going to go ahead and try to swing on through, recreating that same feeling. So do about 20 or 30 reps, shallowing this club out, left wrist nice and flat, getting that club to almost even a little bit bowed there would be fine. Do 20 or 30 reps doing that, and then we're going to take those same 20 and 30 reps. That's the first checkpoint. The second checkpoint, shallow, and now I'm looking at my hips. They are open. That looks really good. I'm going to do that 20 or 30 times to get that feeling of coming through contact. Then I can go ahead and do another 20 or 30 swings, full speed, but just a practice swing. So let's go ahead and put these together. I'll show you a couple of slow motion videos, and you'll be able to see this in some good detail. Hi guys, hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got an awesome bonus for you. We need that lag to create lots of club head speed and to hit the ball really far. That's going to help you to lower your handicap as quick as anything. I've got a great lag video, one of the #1 lag mistakes that I see players make time after time. I'm going to play a preview of that video. If you want to watch that entire video, just click the link that pops up on your screen. If you're on a desktop device, a computer, home computer, if you're on a phone or a tablet, click the iCard and you'll get instant access to that video. Plus, you're going to get 5 more bonus videos from our Top Speed Golf system. I'll see you guys in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be.